Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater. Out to short. And it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Gone! Grant Fournier! Two-run shot to right!
Welcome to William G. Rohrer Field here at Haddon Township, just up the road from where we're based out of here as Dan Wilkins Broadcasting brings you Colonial Conference Baseball between the Sterling Silver Knights and the Haddon Township Hawks. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Vincent Vogt on the production this afternoon. As on a windy but hot spring afternoon, this is a team we've been wanting to see for a long time, as in Sterling. We saw Haddon Township last week, and they surprised us with a 5-4 win over Gloucester, where Gloucester left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th inning. But for Sterling, they're 11-2. They're looking for their first over 500 season since 2018, and, well, they could lose every game from here on out, and they'd still be in pretty good shape. Under the third-year head coach, Tad Kozanowski, he feels confident in his crew, and he's starting Immaculata commit Vaughn McVeigh on the hill this afternoon. But as we get into the nitty-gritty of the season, going really into the toughest part of 2025, the Diamond Classic, Sterling's got their work cut out for them. They play Haddon Heights, a team that they beat earlier in the season, but you don't know. Diamond Classic creates all kinds of scenarios. The Diamond Classic bracket was released yesterday, and a couple of head-scratchers out of there, but overall should still be a good tournament, regardless of some of the comments that have been made about the bracket and about the format for this 2025 season. With that being said, we're gonna have a good pitchers battle tonight. Jack Jantorno, we saw him on Thursday versus Gloucester, struck out 7 in 5 2/3. He's gonna be on the hill today in a very important Colonial Patriot matchup. If you remember, Haddon Township is 4-9, but they're 4-1 in the Colonial Patriot division. So if Haddon Township wins today, they'll actually be tied for the Colonial Patriot division with Sterling. Meanwhile, if Sterling wins, they'll have a 2-game lead, which Kozanowski says will make him a little bit more comfortable. But we've got an excellent game. Jantorno versus Vaughn McVeigh. They're just wrapping up infield-outfield warm-ups now, and we're going to get ready to go right on time here from the Rohrer Field in Haddon Township, right off of Cuthbert Boulevard. We'll be right back in just a moment with starting lineups, pitcher introductions, and first pitch. Sterling and Haddon Township in Colonial Baseball here on this Tuesday afternoon. 81 degrees, but yet very windy. Wind blowing out to right field today. Could see the long ball fly in a hitter-friendly ballpark as Tad Kozanowski and another Colonial alum himself, Audubon grad Nick Delgazzo, talking things over with his crew and the home plate umpires. Let's introduce the starting lineups for both teams today, starting out with the Sterling Silver Knights. Again, the visitors in today's contest who won the first end of this two-game set back in early April by a score of 13-6. For the Silver Knights, it's going to be Dean Collins at third, Nate Schwartz at the shortstop position, Anthony Gogolski, the designated hitter, committed to Rutgers-Camden. He bats third. He hits for the pitcher, Vaughn McVeigh. He'll be followed by the big slugger, Evan Miller at first base, Luke Lomax in center, Quentin Rosano in left, Gavin McCormick in right, Tyler Lucier, the freshman, takes the backstop, and Connor Warrington is the second baseman. Again, McVeigh, the pitcher out of Immaculata, will be the starter today. We'll talk about him in a second. But Haddon Township, coached by another younger head coach, Nick Delgazzo. He brings out Brandon Camolda to the leadoff spot today, behind the dish. Eamon Sheehan, who was the leadoff man on Thursday's game versus Sterling, Thursday's game versus Gloucester, he bats second and will be the shortstop. Colin Feely is the third baseman, batting third, and Kirby Rice is the first baseman, batting cleanup. Jack Jantorno, the same pitcher we saw on Thursday, he pitches again. Excited to see him take it out for a second chance. Tyler DeCastro is the DH, batting sixth, and Mickey Coyle will be the second baseman fielding in his place. Jonas Sunken in left field, Chase Machini in right, and Cameron Spencer is the center fielder, rounding out the order. So Haddon Township's going to get ready to take the field, as this game could very well decide some divisional action, as these two teams would be tied for the divisional lead going into the final few weeks of the season, with Haddon Township taking the field here on this Tuesday afternoon. Haddon Township bringing it out in their normal white home jerseys. Of course, those red ones that we saw on the road, quite bright, but today they're going to be bringing the normal pinstripes out for this Tuesday matchup. Jack Jantorno, the junior right-hander for Haddon Township, 17 2/3 innings this year. 7 of his 15 strikeouts this year that you see on your bottom left, well, that was attributed on Thursday in that 5-4 win over Gloucester, where he was pulled after 5 2/3, but his pitching and his bullpen ended up leading the way the rest of the way. He's got a 3.17 ERA. 14 walks. We'll want to bring that number down, but certainly excited to see him today, as he's going to be facing a very tough Sterling lineup again. As you know, their first three is going to be Collins, Schwartz, and Gogolski. That is going to be a very tough lineup. Again, Sterling put 13 on them the last time that these two played each other earlier this month, and as we reach the bookend of the April calendar month, it should be an exciting matchup here in the Colonial Patriot Division. So Jantorno taking the hill this afternoon. This should be a great game of all proportions, as here at the William G. Rohrer Baseball Field, Haddon Township 4-9 going into this campaign, as they started out the season 1-5. They had wins over Paulsboro and Gateway, but losses to Collingswood, Overbrook, Sterling, Audubon, and Pittman. But now Haddon Township getting a little bit back in their groove. They beat Gloucester in both of their Colonial matchups 5-4 and 12-2. They lost 11-1 to Cherry Hill East in the Downbeat Coaches versus Cancer matchup on Friday, and they lost both ends of their Rohrer tournament doubleheader, 12-1 to Cherry Hill West and 8-2 to a very admirable Shalleck team that is already 10-0, undefeated still this season. Good thing, though, for Haddon Township, they still have a lot of games going on. They've got Haddonfield and Highland, Florence and Paulsboro this upcoming week, and then they'll start off next week with a home match versus Gateway on May 8th. As we said, first three for Sterling will be Collins, Schwartz, and Gogolski for the 11-2 Sterling Silver Knights. They earned themselves a matchup in the Diamond Classic this year, something that they missed out on in 2024, but they'll be looking for another opportunity in 2025. They started out the season with a 5-2 loss to Audubon, but then riffed off 11 straight wins, including some very impressive ones over GCIT, Collingswood, Gloucester, and Woodstown, and also Cardinal O'Hara of Pennsylvania. Their loss most recently was in the final of the Camden County tournament, 7-4 to Eastern. They play again Haddon Heights on the road tomorrow in the first round of the 51st annual Joe Hartman Diamond Classic, and then 2 more road games at Gateway and Cherry Hill West next Monday and Wednesday. All right, so here we go. A windy Tuesday afternoon. You can kind of see it a little bit back at home, but Dean Collins, the first batter for the Silver Knights. Jan Torno is ready to go, and just a few minutes behind schedule, we are underway. That one missed, and it's 1-0 to Dean Collins, the third baseman. Two-0. Yeah, a handful of games in the Diamond Classic being played tomorrow. I believe Cedar Creek and Mainland is one of them. Haddon Heights and Sterling, another one. 2 balls, no strikes. Jan Torno delivers. Strike called that time, 2-1. But yeah, an 11-2 start. Even Chris Hoffman's 2018 team, the last one to go over 500, was only 13-9. Would be a big win for them, especially considering they went 9-16 last year. There's a ground ball out to short. Sheehan is there. Throw across the diamond is in time, and we've got the first out of the ball game. Jan Torno picks up the out on a 6-3 variety. We've got the first out now for Nate Schwartz. Schwartz, the junior, batting .214 in this season. 5 RBIs, 6 for 28, and a .286 slugging percentage, though. I mean, for Sterling, if there's a swing and a miss, they've been doing very well in the hitting department. A .307 team batting average and a .392 slugging percentage. I think, honestly, at the high school level, if you can hit over like .270, .275, I think you can be a very prolific team. And then at the same time, their pitching has been just as stellar. They have a 2.64 team ERA, led by Anthony Gogolski and Casey Konstanewski, who only has 8 innings this year but a sub-1 ERA. And in fact, they only have one pitcher that's over a 4 ERA, and that's Nate Schwartz. Now, Schwartz, first of all, they're going to say that I think he got swung on a miss there, 1-2. But the big thing is that for Schwartz, he only has 5 innings. Everybody else has been, weighing it down. Konstanewski, 8. Or I should say weighing it down in a good way with ERA. Konstanewski with 8 and a .91. Gogolski with 29. And there's a swing and a miss. Jan Torno picks up the strikeout at the hands of Schwartz, 2 away. Gogolski with 2.6. McCormick with 18 innings and a 3.5. And then McVeigh with a 2.49 across 19 2/3. So, listen, I mean, when you could have a team that bats over 300 and has an ERA from the entire team of sub-3, and you only need to throw about 6 pitchers to make everything mesh together, that's an excellent start. Gogolski takes a first pitch strike. The designated hitter in the game hitting for the Immaculata commit, McVeigh. Jan Torno set, he'll step off. Outside. One from Jan Torno. That's a hot shot back out to second base. It's going to be backhanded, can't get there. It'll go into center field, just went under the glove, and Sterling's got a 2-out single off the bat of Gogolski, and that will bring up Evan Miller. Miller, this season as a senior, again doing very well for himself. .476 average, .619 slugging percentage, 14 RBI, has 36 in his career, and 5 extra base hits. That ball is hit out to left. Foul is the call. Just got past Feely at third, but no harm, no foul that time. Miller, a career .312 hitter, 22 career walks, .369 slugging, 49 for 157. That one's up and away. And the pitch to Miller. Curveball drops low. Haddon Township had some work done to this field in recent years. We were last here in 2023. It was a 10-inning matchup between Audubon and Haddon Township. I believe Audubon won that game 2-1. But they had the same installation done that Audubon did. They have the wooden boards back behind the plate and the tall wooden pillars that Audubon also had installed in 2023. I believe Cherry Hill West also got similar installations done in recent years. They're going to call that one a ball. Throw down to second. Oh, the ball got away. It skips the other direction down into right field, but they're going to hold the runner at second. Sterling is going to stay there. I think Delgazo's going to come out. I think maybe the ball may have hit the runner and ricocheted the opposite direction, but because the runner didn't go, I mean, Tad Kozanowski's coming out. Yeah, that ball definitely did hit the runner Gogolski because he is holding on to his right arm. And I think they're making sure that he's not too banged up. That's why I was confused, because the ball seemed like it ricocheted down into right field because it was picked up by Kirby Rice. And now both coaches will break, making sure that he's okay. And with Gogolski there, that might be why he didn't go to third, because he got hurt on that throw down that hit him. But now Miller dealing with a full count and 2 away. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Out in between third and short. It is going to skip into left field for a base hit. Green light from Kozanowski. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time up the line. And an RBI single for Evan Miller. His 15th RBI of the year. And the Knights lead it 1-0 in the first. I like that approach there from Evan Miller. 3-2. He had a little bit of a stoppage in that with Gogolski. You don't want to get behind. And that's exactly what Miller avoided there. He hit a 3-2 pitch, didn't waste any time, and gets back-to-back singles here for the Knights. Now jumping out to a 1-0 lead for their 5-hitter, Luke Lomax, the center fielder. Strike called. 0-1. Lomax launches the ball, but the wind might keep this one in. Oh, it's going to be dropped in left field. That one just popped out of his glove. Another green light from third. Stopping at second is Lomax. Scoring is Miller. And an error in left field as maybe the wind gust carried that ball off the bat of Lomax. And that'll make it a 2-0 Sterling lead. As it looks like Jonas Sunkett will get charged with the error that time. Run does score, and now a quick pitcher and catcher meeting. I mean, listen, for Camolda and Jantorno, that's not his fault. Ball got out to left field. Looks like maybe it got carried a little bit. High launch angle and the sun being there. I don't want to be the kind of person to make excuses, but in that kind of a situation, there certainly is grounds for one. Lomax parks it at second. Miller scored from first on the error by Sunkett. And the first pitch is a strike to the number 6 hitter, Quentin Rosano, the left fielder. And another strike. First 3 for Haddon Township. In the bottom of the first will be Brandon Camolda, Eamon Sheehan, and Colin Feely. Kirby Rice is the 4-hitter. Rosano, a .366 hitter this year, 15 for 41, and a .415 slugger. Looks back at second, and the 0-2 is popped up off the netting and foul. Sterling jumps out to a 2-0 lead here at the William G. Rohrer Field. Always a bustling Haddon Township campus. There's some track and field athletes going about. As this will still be 0-2, and the pitch. Another one that he made contact with, again, banked it right off the netting. Rosano to be followed by McCormick if the inning continues. Hefty wind today could be an advantage to the hitter. And that one will be foul over towards the football field. Hearing news that Haddon Township's football field is going to be under construction this summer as they'll be getting turf added. Not sure if they're going to add lights to the field. I would imagine the answer is no because of the apartment buildings right overlooking the field. That one is low. That's the same reason why Audubon doesn't have lights on their field. They only bring them in for one game every year is because they have residential housing that kind of overlooks the field, and therefore they can't have night games there. Same reason for the Audubon Little League. I could be completely wrong. I know they're putting in turf after graduation, but that one is going to be skipped into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming in for it, Machini, throw to the plate, not in time. That'll be an RBI single. And 4 straight batters reach on a batted ball for Sterling. They jump out to a 3-0 lead. This is just smooth, sound hitting here from Sterling in the early going. I mean, they've gone through 6 batters. They have hit Jan Torno, a really good pitcher. They've hit him very well. And now they look to keep the momentum going with McCormick. Runner does go. Throw down to second is not in time, and the ball popped out either way. So a moot point there. And Rosano is now at second. McCormick, the right fielder in today's contest, 7th man to bat for Sterling. Swing and a miss. Jantorno pumping a good fastball there. And it's 1-1. Two one. That ball is hitting the left field. That's a base hit. Make that 5 in a row. Skips in towards the corner. On his horse to second is McCormick. He is out. And the inning is over. Tried to get a little bit too greedy, but why not when the damage has been done? That 4th run will count for Sterling, and now Haddon Township with some work to do with the bats. Camolda, Sheehan, and Feely due up 4-0 Silver Knights. Well, Sterling got Haddon Township's work cut out for them. They lead 4-0 going to the bottom of the first. Let's introduce Sterling starting pitcher Vaughn McVeigh, the right-hander in today's contest. Again, commanding a very good team ERA of 2.64. He's right around the baseline. He's at a 2.49 in 19 and 2/3 innings. 5 walks, 16 Ks, 7 earned runs, 5 unearned, as he is the second best team ERA on the Knights, just behind, Casey Kozaneski. Again, Haddon Township's first three, as we introduced in the top half, Camolda, Sheehan, and Feely, as he'll have some extra time to warm up here. Sterling, again, a 4-0 lead. 7 men batted. McCormick was the last. He had an RBI single, but an aggressive send down to second cut his line short. And here will be Camolda in the bottom of the first for Haddon Township. Haddon Township entering this game 4-9, as Camolda, the junior, is the first to grab a bat for Haddon Township. He's a career .228 hitter. This season, 8 for 38, 3 doubles, 4 walks, and a stolen base. Had a .244 average as a sophomore and a .211 average this season. 2 of his 3 doubles came in a 9-6 win versus Paulsboro earlier in the month. Inside. Haddon Township is a team batting .247 with a 5.21 team ERA. Up and in. That time, strike right down the pipe, 1-1. And another one, 1-2. One-two from McVeigh. Hit out towards the first base side. This could get a little tricky here with the obstructed grandstands, but that is the first out. You can see there's the shadow overlooking first base. Those are the visiting grandstands for the football team, but those top rows actually do hang over the field because there's the equipment sheds back there and all of the other things, but it actually does make for an interesting kind of ricochet candidate as, infield with playing in, throw to first is going to be in time as a big recovery by Sterling. The third baseman was playing way in. Ball was hit to him on the first pitch. That'll be the second out. So Sheehan grounds out. It's a pop out to first and then a 5-3 to bring up Feely. But yeah, I mean, listen, this has been a good start for Sterling. But as we said on another one on the first pitch, how about this for a quick inning? 7 pitches? How do you do? Vaughn McVeigh gets out of it. 2 pop outs and a ground out. And very quickly, Sterling has their lead and holds on to it. Go to the top half of the second here at William G. Rohrer Field, 4-0.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Here at Haddon Township High School, this broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. Haddon Township with their kind of copycat Iowa Hawkeyes logo, taking the field in the top of the second, looking for a better inning than they had in the first. Gave up 4 runs on 7 batters to Sterling in the top half, and a grand total of 4 hits. I think they could have gone longer if McCormick wasn't thrown out at second, but Tyler Lucier is the batter for Sterling in the top half of the second frame. Up and in, 1-0. As we said it earlier in the broadcast, 81 degrees here at first pitch. It's a shorts weather kind of day. 1-0. Lucier cracks one foul. Back behind the plate and towards Cuthbert. One ball, one strike. Lucier, Warrington, and Collins. 8, 9, and 1 for Sterling in the top of the second. I was going to say that overhang has to be nice for the first base coach. He's just kind of hanging out down there, and he's in the shadows. First base umpire taking full advantage of it, too. I'm sure that's got to be real nice. Jantorno set, delivers a strike, 2-2. And the pitch. Ground ball out to third. Picked up. Feely throws it across the diamond to Rice. It's in time. Good stretch. And Rice picks up the first out of the second. Yeah, the second inning starting a lot like the first did. 6-3 ground out to start the first and strikeout. And with 2 outs, I mean, listen, it didn't look like Sterling was going to go too far. 2-out single by Gogolski, and then Miller got an RBI single. Lomax got another home on an E7. And it just kind of was a domino effect from there. That is what makes a resilient ball club. 2-out rallies like that. That is going to go out to Sheehan, who backpedals it. Throw to first is high, and it wouldn't have been in time anyway. That'll be a base hit for Warrington. As Sterling now with 5 hits in the first inning and a third of this ball game off of Jantorno. So an infield single by Warrington turns the lineup card back over to the top for Dean Collins. Lollipop pick off at first, not in time. One-oh. Up and away. That ball's rocketed out towards center field. This is going to be straight away for Cameron Spencer, though. And there's 2 down. Last night, Gloucester Catholic beat Kingsway 1-0 on a walk-off error off the bat of Danza. Excellent game as always down there at GC. Didn't think that game was ever going to get a run, and yet it did. 2 outs for Schwartz. He struck out looking his first time. Sometimes that first inning can really be what we call a jitter inning. You know, sometimes the starting pitcher just needs a little bit extra time to settle in. There's a strike called that time, 1-1. Big thing here for Jan Torno is making sure that first inning doesn't come back to bite him later. And I think he is going to be maybe a little bit concerned if the offense doesn't back him up, which there's a good chance that it does. But if it doesn't, those 4 runs are going to hurt. Popped up. Machini going out to right field. This might be Kirby's ball. Oh, a good catch. Came in at the shoestrings, and Kirby Rice brings it down to end the inning. We're through a frame and a half here at Haddon Township. Still Sterling 4, Haddon Township 0.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Still a windy day here at Haddon Township. Sterling leads 4-0. As the Hawks went down in order, Kirby Rice will be the first to bat versus McVeigh. And the first pitch is a strike from McVeigh, 0-1. Rice out to short. Throw to first in time from Schwartz. And McVeigh doing himself quite right here with 4 straight. No strikeouts, though. We did mention earlier he is a little bit low on strikeouts, but you see a lot more common in high school pitchers that are made for, pitching to contact. McVeigh only has a handful this year. Jan Torno doesn't have too much. But now it'll be Jan Torno, the pitcher, batting here. Again, Haddon Township's football field over to the left, set to undergo some renovations in the summer. We were told by Dom Franisconi, the photographer for the Hawks, that, or kind of the official photographer for the Hawks, that they will be away for most of their games this season in 2025. That's not confirmed, but that would make sense. That happened to, I want to say, Gateway when they got their turf in a couple of years ago, where they were away for almost an entire season. Like, they had their week 0 through week 6 games on the road, and then week 7 and 8 they were finally at home. And that's strike 3. First K for McVeigh, and he's now got his first, but he's got 2 outs here in the bottom of the second for DeCastro, the DH, hitting for Mickey Coyle. I just like the Haddon Township campus. It's very low-key. It's pretty nice. I drive by it all the time on Cuthbert Boulevard, see that red sign outside, and usually don't actually go here a lot. Like we said, last time we were on the Haddon Township campus for a game was 2023. Back when Audubon played here. I think it was around the same time. I think it was May 1st, 2023. So it's been about 2 years. Liner out towards short. Itzel's going to skip past into center field. A base hit for DeCastro, Haddon Township's first of the day. And DeCastro looking to take a page out of the Sterling book and spark a 2-out rally in the second. That'll bring up Jonas Sunkett, the left fielder. That will be a ground ball out to short. They'll tag the bag. At second base, and the inning is over. Schwartz goes down, and the inning is over. We go to the top of the third here at Haddon Township, 4-0. Two innings down, we're in the top of the third here at Haddon Township at William G. Rohrer Memorial Field. Jan Torno still out for the third. And no reason not to. It's early. The 4 runs in the first, I think at this point, can be told off as a fluke. However, he will get a hit-by-pitch to Gogolski to start his inning. So now here's Miller. Gogolski reaches for the second time. Listen, Sterling scored 5 runs in the third inning of their last matchup. 13-6 was the final. Scored 9 runs across the third and fourth innings. 5 in the third, 4 in the fourth. But we've been wanting to get out to a Sterling game this year. We were going to have their Haddon Heights game, and then something came up with our schedule. Couldn't make it. We were supposed to do their Cinnaminson game. Got rained out. And now we finally had the opportunity to add this one onto our slate. And Haddon Township is a good team, too. I think if there's one team that we wanted to see against Sterling, it was going to be Haddon Township, because this is a Colonial Patriot matchup. Makes for some really good opportunities. Just really good stuff overall. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Down to second is, oh, yikes, I think he got him there. Didn't get the call. And the runner's going to be safe at second. Gogolski got in there. Now Delgazo's coming out, which, yeah, I think he's going to disagree with this call as well, pretty adamantly. Oh, yeah, he got him. That's not what the call on the field will be, but just looking at our video, he definitely got him. So they got a good one there. And now Miller deals with a runner in scoring position. Jantorno delivers a ground ball out to second base, picked up, threw across the diamond, is in time. Getting to third is Gogolski. And there's one away. Big opportunity for Sterling to extend their lead here in the third. And now it'll be Lomax. That'll be a ground ball. It's going to go into right field for a base hit. Luke Lomax will have his second RBI of the day. It's an RBI single to right field, a pull side knock. And Lomax extends Sterling lead to 5-0. Again, I always like those pieces of hitting where you start the at-bat off really well, really early. But in that situation there, couldn't be too mad at that one. Again, pulling the ball as a lefty is a big benefit for these high school players, as there's a strike to Rosano. Also at an RBI single in his first at-bat in the first inning. Oh, 1. That's a bullet in the left. That's a base hit for Rosano. Back-to-back hits there for the Knights. And now Quentin Rosano sets up a good hit here for Gavin McCormick. Haddon Township right now in South Jersey Group 1 power points is 11th. 2 spots down from where, actually 3 spots down from where they were last year. They were an 8 seed last year. Ended up beating Buna, the 9 seed. Right now the top 4 is Shalleck, Audubon, Woodstown, and Pennsville. Shalleck is far and away the number 1 right now in terms of power points. They lead by over 7 power points, 25-18. Woodstown and Pennsville are only 1 point separated from each other. Then you've got Pittman in 5th, Maple Shade in 6th. They're nearly tied with Riverside. Buna is 8th. They would get the last home game. And then 9 through 12 is Palmyra, Glassboro, Haddon Township, and Gateway. Then 13 through 16 is Clayton, Wildwood, Salem, and Paulsboro. And the next 4 on the outside looking in is Cape May Tech, Burlington City, Penns Grove, and Leap. That one's low. And then Sterling being classified as Group 2. Right now, they are the 2 seed in South Jersey Group 2. And in fact, the crazy thing about South Jersey Group 2, as there's a swing and a miss, 5 of the top 6 and the entire top 4 are all Colonial teams. Haddon Heights, which leads by 2, Sterling, which is 4 over Haddonfield in 3rd, and then West Deptford. Collingswood is in 6th, only separated by Cedar Creek, which is 2 points ahead in 5th. And then 7th is Overbrook, a team that was in the Colonial Conference for the majority of its history, and now is in the Tri-County Diamond. Barnegat in 8th, Middle Township 9, and then 10 through 12, Manchester, Gloucester, and Oakcrest. 13 through 16, Medford Tech, Lower Cape May, Seneca, and Mastery Camden. There's a swing and a miss. Jantorno picks up the strikeout on McCormick. There's the second out of the top of the 3rd for Lucier now. You know, I'm just thinking about at the beginning of the month when we had those really windy days, but also extremely cold days. Today, the wind actually feels good as compared to a nightmare. Jantorno set and delivers to Lucier. First pitch is fouled back. 0-1. And then on the outside looking in for Group 2 is Penn Tech, Pleasantville, Camden Charter, Camden, and Eastside. Strike called. Here we go, and the pitch. That ball's hit well by Lucier. It'll be out to center field. Spencer is there, and the inning is over. Sterling stays with a 1-run inning as an RBI single by Lomax extends the lead to 5. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Knights still rolling. Here at Haddon Township High School, view of the Haddon Hills apartment buildings overlooking the field. As Sterling leads 5-0 over the Haddon Township Hawks. They got a hit in the bottom half of the second, but did not score. Sterling added a run in the top of the third on an RBI single by Lomax. Make it 5-0. We're going to have a bases empty bunt here. McVeigh will not get a throw off. Good piece of hitting there by Machini as he catches the Knights off guard and gets himself a single. So here is Spencer. Second hit of the day for the Hawks as a bunt single gives Haddon Township a little bit of life here. 0-1. McVeigh from the stretch, grounds it. This could be 2. Flips it. 6-4. No, couldn't get that one. Would have been 4-6-3 anyway. They do get a fielder's choice, and we turn the lineup card back over to Camolda. So Camolda the batter. 1 runner on and 1 away after the fielder's choice. Camolda popped out to first his first time as a part of a, I guess you could say, scratchless first for McVeigh. But he's now given up 2 hits and wavers that one foul. Looks like that one hit the grandstands down the first base line. Actually just kind of died out there. And the pitch. Got a piece of it that time. Should be 1-2 here. That's a ground ball. That will go out to short. Deep in the hole, he bobbles it. And Schwartz has trouble. A cue shot into the 5-6 gap. And Camolda puts 2 runners on for Haddon Township. With a little bit of a defensive miscue there. Although there's a good chance that's going to go down in the official scorecard as a base hit. And we'll put it as one as well, because even though he bobbled the ball, very unlikely he would have gotten the runner out, as this will be Sheehan, multi-sport athlete for the Hawks, including boys soccer and basketball, under Coach Patty McNamara. Haddon Township reached the South Jersey Group 1 sectional final in an odd bracket, but Woodbury beat the 3-seed Hawks in the sectional championship. Wavers at this one, throws it down to third. He is safe. A double steal. Getting in there a little bit awkwardly is Spencer, but he will get in there nonetheless. And now Sheehan working with a great position. And now it's 2 runners on and 1 away, as Sheehan will look to extend kind of the lifeline for Haddon Township. Down by 5. They've got an 0-2 count and 1 away. McVeigh looks back, kicks and delivers. Excuse me, outside. I don't do that much. That is very rare that I sneeze on air. Coughing, sure. Sniffling, another thing. But the 1-2 outside, 2-2. I just felt it. I couldn't stop it. It's what happens in April. Sheehan 0 for 1, grounded out to short his first time, and now dribbles this one out. Should get Haddon Township's first run. The throw is in time. Runner does get the third. It's an RBI ground out for Sheehan, and Hawks are on the board. It's 5-1. Kamolda gets the third. Spencer scores, and a 4-3 ground out. Brings up Colin Feely. That's a ground ball out to third. This could end the inning. Throw across is scooped. No, it got behind Miller, and it gets kicked into right field. The run will score. Feely will turn around, and he is safe. Makes it a 5-2 game. As Haddon Township scores their second run on an untimely scoop at first. As Feely gets on now for the first baseman, Rice. That one is fouled back. So Haddon Township giving themselves a little bit, again, more of an extension here as they look to avoid a loss to Sterling, but it's still just the third inning as that's a throw over to first to retire the side. Haddon Township gets 2 runs across, one on a ground out by Sheehan and another on a defensive error for off the bat of Colin Feely. Township cuts the lead, but not much more. It's 5-2 going to the fourth. Top of the fourth here at William G. Rohrer Field at Haddon Township. 9-1-2 for Sterling as Jack Jantorno still on to pitch the fourth. And in a 5-2 ball game, Haddon Township did get 2 runs back, but it'll be Connor Warrington leading us off. First pitch is a strike. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, outside of California, which U.S. state has the most MLB players of all time? Is it A, Florida, B, Pennsylvania, C, New York, or D, Ohio? The answer will be revealed in the bottom half of the fourth. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. Along with toys, cages, accessories, and much, much more. You can visit today or 7 days a week at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon. Also, if you're a small business owner interested in advertising with DWB, you can send me an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That one's over the middle to Sheehan. Picked up. Sidearm throw to first is in Did he get him there? Yeah, he did. Okay. Rice got pulled a little bit, but he did get the out beforehand. That'll bring up the top of the lineup card for Collins. Dean Collins 0 for 2. Ground out to short and a fly out to center in his first 2 trips to the plate. Collins and then Schwartz. Sun could be a little bit difficult here today. Spencer, for the past couple of batters, has been holding up his glove to center field, making sure that he'll be okay in that regard. Machini did get picked up with an error after he lost a ball in the sun. I don't know if he lost a ball in the sun, but he might have just misjudged it. That ball's roped our way, right center field. This one's going to drop. It is cut off by the right fielder, Machini. But it will be a one-out base hit for Dean Collins. That's his first of the day. I mean, Sterling's just been roping the ball, even only with 5 runs. Put up 4 hits in the first, another one in the second, another 2 in the third. Gives them 8 total in the day after that single. And there's a swing and a miss. Ball got messed up on the transfer by Camulda. The runner will get down to second. It is 0-1 after the swing and miss by Schwartz. Gugolski, who's reached twice, a single and a hit by pitch, will be next. In the dirt. 1-1. That one hits the netting back behind the plate. Getting the third without issue is Collins. So he stole second base and now advances the third on a wild pitch. Now the count's 2-1. Umpire calls it dead, made contact. Tried to go for a safety squeeze there. Jantorno kicks and delivers. 3-1. Just missed the corner that time. Hit out to center field, hit well. Spencer dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Run will score on the sac fly, but the catch made in center by Cameron Spencer. And it does score the run, makes it 6-2, but a crazy good effort out there in center field for the second out. Man, what a good play. So a sacrifice fly to center. Sterling has scored in every inning but the second today, as he now gets to face Gugolski, a single and a hit by pitch for the DH today. 1-0 outside. That's a strike call. Hit out towards left, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the dirt, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Gogolski will be followed by Miller. No action for Haddon Township yet. No action for Sterling either. Both teams pretty content with their pitchers in this one. He got him! Strike 3. Got him looking to retire the side. Jantorno picks up his 3rd K, but not without a beautiful catch in center field by Cameron Spencer. The inning is over. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. 6-2, Sterling. Hit out to center field, hit well. Spencer dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Run will score on the sac fly. Haddon Township gets a run, not Haddon Township, Sterling gets a run across in the top half of the 4th. Sacrifice fly to center by Nate Schwartz. Could have been a lot worse, though, if Spencer didn't make that catch. Saw that with J.P. Stevens the other night, Trenton Thunder Ballpark, with a great play out in center as first batter for Haddon Township. Hawks in the bottom half of the 4th will be Jantorno. 6 men came to bat for the Hawks in the bottom of the 3rd, scoring 2. Jantorno, DeCastro, and Sunkett batting here as there's a swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. And no, did not get the call. One and 2 here. McVeigh still rolling. Caught it! Beautiful! Vaughn McVeigh returned to sender. That's the first out of the bottom half. As McVeigh with a web gem. Right back to him. Haddon Township and Sterling trading off some great plays. One away for DeCastro. It'll be time for DWB Trivia Time, as that line out to the pitcher was a beautiful one at that. Today's question is, what is the only U.S. state, or which U.S. state outside of California has the most MLB products of all time? Is it A, Florida, B, Pennsylvania, C, New York, or D, Ohio? Vincent Vogt, your producer for today, what is your guess? New York, let's see what you got. His guess is C. His guess is wrong. Pennsylvania, I believe they edged out New York by about 100 players. California, by far and away, it leads by like 1,000. They have about, I think it's 2,200, something like that. Pennsylvania and New York, I think both are right around the 1,200, 1,300 mark. New Jersey, for what it's worth, has right around 500. Most known for Derek Jeter and Mike Trout. Although Jeter didn't grow up in Jersey. Jeter was born in Pecanic, but then moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is where he went to high school. Mike Trout was born and raised. Born in Millville. I think he was actually born in Vineland, but he went to Millville High School, grew up there, 25th overall pick in '09. Outside de Castro. 1 for 1 with a single in the second inning. And probably the most famous South Jersey product outside of that, maybe the most slipping my mind, would be Andrew Bailey. 2-time All-Star. That'll be a walk to DeCastro. And now it'll be Jonah Sunkett. Yeah, I think that obviously North Jersey gets a lot of the attention because of their proximity to New York, but if you think about it, a lot of the towns and cities that exist in North Jersey are because of overflow from New York, and the industry that was in New York ended up having to go somewhere because Manhattan is only 8 miles long from top to bottom, from north to south, before you get out to like Long Island and Yonkers. So that's where you get Newark. That's where you get Jersey City, Hoboken, Edison. Not Edison per se, but a lot of the cities that are right outside of New York are a byproduct of that. The big city came first, and then the small cities came a couple of years after across state lines. It's the same thing down here in South Jersey. Cherry Hill and Camden, and by extension, you could also argue I'm trying to think of other towns that I can think of here. There's a ground ball. That one will go to second. They will fire it back for one, and on to first. It is a double play. 4-6-3. Sterling turns the corner, and a beautiful play at second to retire the side on a fiery ball out off of Connor Warrington. A 4-6-3 double play ends the frame, and we go to the bottom half, rather top of the 5th inning. After that beautiful double play, it'll be 6-2 Sterling. And by extension, you could also argue, I'm trying to think of other towns that I can think of here. There's a ground ball. That one will go to second. They will fire it back for one, and on to first. It is a double play. 4-6. Top of the 5th inning, Sterling leads 6-2 over Haddon Township. Sterling 11-2 on the campaign. Like we said, this would be their first over 500 season since 2018 with Chris Hoffman at the helm, when they went 13-9. Looked like a promising start to the inning for Haddon Township. A walk to DeCastro, but then Sunkett. I don't know how many infield combinations can turn that double play. He was ranging to his left at second, kind of corked it up, and then fired it to second, fired it to short, and then threw it to first. That was just poetry in motion right there. You don't get too much better than that. We do have Miller leading us off, and he's got, very quickly, a 2-0 count. Miller, Lomax, who has 2 RBIs, and Rosano, who has 2 hits of his own, as a part of an 8-hit effort for Sterling. This could be number 9. Let's see what Spencer's got in the tank. He does line it out to center. A can of corn for the first down. Yeah, Haddon Township's outfield defense, except for that one hiccup in the first, has been relatively sound. I mean, one error on each side, and it's been pretty clean outside of that. And even then, when the error was made in left by Sunkit, you can kind of chalk that up to losing it in the sun. And also a gust of wind coming while the ball was in flight. Strike called to Lomax. Lomax driven in 2 runs today, the first on an E7 in left field, that aforementioned error by Sunkit. And then an RBI single in the third rather. Don't forget to vote on our Instagram at DW Broadcasting for our fan vote for Thursday's Diamond Classic first round matchup. The Diamond Classic bracket was revealed. Gloucester Catholic, to the surprise of basically no one, gets the number 1 seed. And right now, Audubon's leading the vote with 39%. There's a swing and a miss. The 4 options that you have are Cinnaminson at Clearview, Egg Harbor Township at Audubon, Burlington Township at Kingsway, and Middle Township at Cherokee. Right now, Audubon leading the vote, my alma mater, with 39%. They have 109 votes. Cinnaminson Clearview is next in line with 71. Burlington Township Kingsway has 50. And Middle Township Cherokee has 53. That one's a grounder. Rice flips to Jantorno. He is out. Oh, he crashed into the fence down there. Oh, geez. That's called momentum for you. He could not stop. He could not stop those wheels. And Lomax grounds out 3-1. But that was a tough play overall because Rice was set up pretty far back. And when he had to make that flip to first for Jantorno, just didn't seem like it was all clicking. But Lomax grounds out with a loud thud at the end, and it's like a Looney Tunes cartoon. There's 2 down. Ground ball over the middle. Sheehan stops it. There's been some great defense on display today. He gets him, grabs a speck of dirt, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning as Sterling is held scoreless on a line out, a ground out, and a nice ranging play by Eamon Sheehan. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 6-2, Silver Knights.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Here in the bottom of the 5th, that wooden board faded just enough. You can make out, though, that it is a hawk. As the bottom of the 5th, as it's the Knights 6 and the Hawks 2, and Machini, Spencer, and Camulda are the batters here in the bottom half of the 5th. McVeigh still working, the Immaculata commit. Outside, 1-0. Sterling has scored in every run, but in every inning, but the 5th and the 2nd. The offense came in bunches, 4 runs in the top of the 1st on 7 batters. The count is 2-0 here to Machini. He singled in his first at-bat. Was later retired on a fielder's choice, and that time that ball catches the zone on the fastball. On Friday, May 2nd, we did talk about Diamond Classic on Thursday. Friday will be a night game in the Olympic Conference in Chemung, a matchup between the Morristown Quakers and the Seneca Golden Eagles at 6 p.m. Another strike, 2-2. Coming back from a 2-0 deficit now. And there's strike 3. Strikeout number 5. Actually, no, that is strike. I completely read that wrong. Strikeout number 2. Big difference for Vaughn McVeigh. First out of the 5th. And now that will send Spencer, the 9-hitter, to the plate. He's had some good defensive plays. Then on Saturday, May 3rd, we will be at Timber Creek for 2 games in the Diamond Classic second round. First game will be at 1 o'clock. Second game will be at 4. The 1 o'clock game will be the winner of Bishop Eustis and Cherry Hill East versus the winner of Hamilton and Rancocas Valley. Either way should be a great game. And then Sterling could potentially be featured on Saturday if they beat Haddon Heights. They'll face the winner of Haddon Heights versus Sterling will face the winner of Absegami and Delsey. If Hamilton makes it on Saturday, it'll be their first DWB appearance. Either might be their first or their second. I'm not entirely sure. But this one's floated out towards center field. It will get past everyone. Schwartz was the closest one to it, but I don't think in that kind of situation anyone is getting there. That's a base hit for Spencer. Those are the kind of hits that you love. You love those kind of plays where you can't really chalk it up to anything, and a base hit's a base hit. It's the 3rd hit of the ball game. Rather, check that, the 4th for Haddon Township. Sterling has 8. And Kamulda, the leadoff man, fouls it off. That one is hit out towards right field, going over McCormick. It's going to drop. They call it fair. McCormick bobbles it. Stopping at second is Spencer. And now Haddon Township has given McVeigh a run for his money with 2 one-out singles back-to-back, and Eamon Sheehan is the batter. He's 0 for 2, but he has driven in a run for Haddon Township earlier in the ballgame in the 3rd inning. By the way, the best final scores from Monday: Cherokee beat Cherry Hill East 5-2. Delsey shut out Highland 12-0. Cinnaminson beat Holy Cross Prep 17-7. PVI beat Winslow 16-0. And RV beat Eastern 12-6 in the Olympic Conference. Lenape shut out Shawnee 3-0. Cherry Hill West beat Seneca in a squeaker 7-5. That one is popped up back behind the plate. Northern Burlington beat Florence 12-0. Lenape, no, I already said that one. Williamstown shut out Washington Township in a big rivalry game there in Gloucester County, 4-0. Delran beat Bordentown, 2-1. Vineland upset Ocean City, 2-1. That one is a line drive. That's going to skip in the left field for Sheehan. That's a base hit. Stop signs all around for the Hawks. They do throw back to second, and the runner is safe as they go for the back pick attempt. And Vaughn McVeigh now dealing with the bases loaded. The tying run will be Colin Feely, as Haddon Township has knocked 3 straight singles, and Colin Feely will be the batter. Kozaneski coming out. Not sure if he is going to relieve McVeigh of his duties. Let's continue with some more out-of-town scores from around the area. Cedar Creek beat Buna in a slugfest, 20-10. Holy Spirit beat Lower Cape May 10-4. St. Augustine beat EHT 4-1. Mainland beat Millville in another one, 14-7. Haddonfield beat Gateway 11-1. Haddon Township yesterday beat Gloucester 12-2 on the road. And then Clearview, another crazy high-scoring game, beat GCIT 19-11. Haddon Heights beat Burlington Township 11-1. Kingsway lost to Gloucester Catholic 1-0. Overbrook beat Glassboro in comeback fashion 12-7. Deptford beat Cumberland 8-4. That's pretty much all we have on our tally right now, except Oakcrest beat ACIT 12-3. Popped up out to second base, going over, making the catch will be Warrington. 2 down. There was a strikeout looking by Machini to start the inning. And Sterling now immediately looks to turn the tide with Kirby Rice at the dish. He's 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. But with the bases loaded, anything's possible. First pitch is a strike. I think that mound visit by Kozaneski, I mean, again, Kozaneski worked in radio for 30 years. He knows how to talk to somebody. It sounds like I'm joking, but I'm serious. Kozaneski is one of those guys that knows how to talk to people. And as a coach, that has helped him mightily. And I would imagine that McVay, whatever nerves he have, are probably cooled off here. He got an easy pop-up early in the at-bat to the 3-hitter Colin Feely. It's never easy to deal with the meat of the order with the bases loaded, nonetheless. But now he's working through it very smoothly, and he's got an 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sterling looking to keep this game in their pocket here in the bottom of the 5th. McVay set, ready to go, and the pitch. He did not get him. 1-2. Just off the plate that time. Here's the pitch. Outside again. 2-0. I'm sorry, 2-2. I said the wrong thing there. McVay looks back, bases loaded, ground ball, out to third, it's picked up, throw across the diamond is in time, and the inning is over. How about that? Haddon Township has the bases loaded and 1 out, and then a pop-up and a 5-3 ground out squashed the threat. We're through 5 here at Haddon Township. It's still Sterling 6, Haddon Township 2.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
We are through 5 here at Haddon Township. Sterling 6, Haddon Township 2. This game isn't just a battle between a team over 500 and a team under 500. Again, you might look at the records on paper and say 11-2 and 4-9. Why is this game close? Well, you think about the fact that Haddon Township, all 4 of their wins have come in divisional play. They won twice over Gloucester, once on Thursday, the game that we were at during the spring break, and then we saw them again, or at least we're seeing them again today. They have a 4-1 record. That one loss, well, was to Sterling, 13-6. They had wins over Gateway and Paulsboro. So they've gone through the first rotation with everybody except for Gloucester. They play Paulsboro again on the 6th, Gateway again on the 8th. And if you assume they win those games, they'd be 6-1. And then that's it. This is their second game against Sterling. They've already played 2 against Gloucester, and the Colonial is kind of split in a way where it's 6 in the top half, 4 in the lower half, which honestly, a 4-team division doesn't really seem that appealing, but here's a pop-up. The wind is going to really mess this one up. Machini makes the play in right. First out of the 6th. Good way to keep that ball down as McCormick is retired. Jantorno, though, still in the ball game. And he has held down the fort even with Sterling's offensive barrages. Here's Lucier. Tyler Lucier, the freshman catcher, the lone freshman on this Sterling starting lineup this afternoon, sends that first pitch a sail foul. But if you look at the Colonial standings right now, I mean, actually, I do beg your pardon. There is 5 teams in the Patriot. Last year was 4 in the lower half, 6 in the top half. Paulsboro got moved down to the lower half after the 2024 season where they went 8-18. But Haddon Township, Gloucester, Collingswood, and Kingsway were in there. So the changes made from last year, Collingswood got moved up, and Sterling and Paulsboro got moved down. So there's a swing and a miss. So they sent 2 teams down and sent another one up to make it 5 top, 5 in the lower. As that'll be a swing and a miss. Jantorno, strikeout number 5 for him. And there's 2 away. And at the moment, both divisions are very close. It's really a 2-way race. And honestly, you could argue in the Liberty, it's a 3-way race. Haddon Township 8-4, Haddonfield 8-4 overall. 2-1 in the division. Haven't played too much in the divisional part. Audubon 10-3 at 3-1, but Haddon Heights only playing 2 divisional games have gone with the division lead at 10-1 and the overall lead. Here's the pitch in the dirt. And then in the Patriot, these 2 teams right here battling for it. Sterling and Haddon Township. And listen, I mean, Sterling is the only team that's above 500. All 5 teams in the Colonial Liberty are at 500 or better. West Effort's at 8-4, but the reason why they're not really in that conversation is because they have a 1-3 divisional record. The overall records don't mean anything. I'm not saying that they don't mean anything, but in terms of how you want to win your division, that's where they don't matter. But of course, you could also make the argument that division championships don't matter because of the power points. It matters where you're seated in the playoff bracket, as there's a swing and a miss. And the count is 2-2. But Collingswood, which is last in the division, Colonial Patriot, is 6-6. But they are winless, 0-3 in divisional games. Meanwhile, Sterling is the only team above 500. That's 3-2. The only team over 500 in the Patriot division. Haddon Township 4-8. Gateway also 4-8. I apologize. Haddon Township is 4-9. Gloucester 5-8. Last year's South Jersey Group 1 sectional champions. And then Paulsboro at 2-9. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Put in play to third off the glove of Feely. Looks like it skipped up and hit him. Goes into left field for a base hit. Change here for Haddon Township as the left fielder turned his back. Sean Crawford is in the game in left field, which could theoretically mean Jonah Sunkett could pitch if they've taken him out. Although no, because Sunkett doesn't have any pitching time this year, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's just a defensive change and nothing more, but Warrington has a base hit, and he'll throw back to first. 9 hits for Sterling. Yeah, that is number 5, showing Crawford out there, so. Jantorno, though, is still dealing. I like Delgazo's confidence in him. I think that, you know, listen, when you've got a 5.21 team ERA, if you go to Crawford, he's got a +5. If you go to Feely, he's got 4.6. DeCastro's got a 6.1. Machini's got a 10.5. Jantorno's the guy that can lock things down right now. So if you can get the offense going, you want to stretch him out as long as you can. Especially because they beat Gloucester 12-2 yesterday. They beat Gloucester twice in 5 days. In that game, Tyler DeCastro went 5 1/3, walked 5, but struck out 7. And now Delgazzo coming out to talk to his man. The count is 1-0. Sterling has a runner on, fly out to right, and a strikeout were the first 2 outs of the frame. This one's hit. Sheehan under it. Glove is up, and the ball is in. Inning over. A 2-out single yields no damage, and Haddon Township will have 6 outs to get the bats awake, as they have put 2 runs up on the board, but not in a long while. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 6-2 Sterling. Bottom of the 6th inning in order, as the first pitch is outside to Haddon Township. Vaughn McVeigh still working through it here. Bottom of the 6th inning, he has allowed 2 runs, but a pop-up over behind the plate. Who's got it? It is indeed Lucier. Comes down with it. 1 away. So Jantorno is retired. Now it'll be DeCastro to DH. That's a ground ball in the first pitch. Put in play over to third. Quick throw. Gets away. Hits off the shed. Actually, no, Jantorno, that is him batting. So they must have called it a foul ball then. Never mind. Got that one messed up. Either way, though. So, no outs on the board. That is a infield single for Jantorno. And now here's Tyler DeCastro. 6-2 Sterling. Offense has been relatively dormant. Outside of a 4-run first inning for Sterling, they put on a 5th run in the 3rd, a 6th in the 4th. And have had 2 scoreless frames since. Both of Haddon Township's runs came in the 3rd inning. An RBI ground out by Sheehan and an error that scored a run off the bat of Feely. So only 1 earned run for McVeigh. Throw to first, not in time. Strike there. And he got him. 1 away. So that's strikeout number 3. As McVeigh, again, maybe not a strikeout merchant, but he gets them when they matter most. As now it's Jonas Sunkett. An infield single by DeCastro, followed by a strikeout looking. As here on a beautiful day from Haddon Township. It was hot at first, now it's cooled down. Some heavy winds. It is in a heavy wind day. Sterling is looking for a heavy win. A win today would put their division lead at 2 games, which would be a huge help considering what they've got to deal with in the division. As there's a strike. No, 1 and 2 here. So this could get very interesting as we go along. I mean, you know, Haddon Township and Sterling, again, Haddon Township, if they win this game, they'll be tied at 5-1 for both teams. But yet if Sterling wins, they'd be at an undefeated, 6-0, which would help them dearly. McVeigh delivers, poked into shallow center field. Schwartz, though, is there as that ball fails to leave the infield. They do fire it back to first. Trying to catch Jan Torno napping, they do no such thing. And that's the second out. Now it'll be Machini, the right fielder. Yeah, all 3 of Haddon Township's outfielders batting in a row, 7, 8, 9. Sunkett in left, Machini in right, and now Spencer. Although Sunkett was replaced defensively by Sean Crawford, the junior, who's had some significant innings on the hill for Haddon Township this year. Fires it in the dirt. So Machini looking to set up a good inning here, but there's 2 outs and 1 runner on. The runner at first is Jan Torno, the junior. McVeigh, curveball outside. I do like the 3/4 release that McVeigh has. It's unconventional. You know, it's kind of like he's leaning into it a little bit. Not too intensive, and he finds a way to be productive. That one's fouled back. Again, when you have an ERA that low, you've been doing well for yourself this season. I mean, you can't be mad at that. Is the point that we're trying to make. McVeigh, though, digging in versus Sunkett with a 2-2 count and 2 away. Here's the pitch. That is high. Count is full here. It's a windy day here at Haddon Township and a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the 6th for McVeigh. We'll see if he goes the distance in the 7th. He's forced a lot of early at-bats to come to a premature close. But we are through 6 here at the William G. Rohrer Field. It is 6-2 Sterling. Sterling up 6-2 on Haddon Township. Beautiful Tuesday evening here at the William G. Rohrer Field. Big thanks to Nick Delgazzo and Tim George for having us out today. Again, our next broadcast will be Thursday in well, we actually don't know what time. We should say it's 4 o'clock, maybe 3:30. We don't know. However, the leading candidate right now in the DWB fan vote is my alma mater, Egg Harbor Township at Audubon. Right now, I believe, has 38% of the vote. The other three options are Cinnaminson at Clearview, Burlington Township at Kingsway, and Middle Township at Cherokee. So you have 24 hours to vote. I think right now it's down to about 18. I think I put up the fan vote maybe, I don't know, 12 o'clock. But either way, the new pitcher for Haddon Township is number 12, Cam Spencer. So they made a couple of changes. Crawford remains in left. Jantorno moves to right. And Machini moves from right to center. That one is down. Here's the pitch. Oh, got called back into the box. As Schwartz is the first batter for Sterling. It's Schwartz, Gogolski, and Miller. So Spencer, 4 appearances this year, a 2.3 ERA. And that will be a ball 4 on second chance, let's just say. Schwartz reaches for the first time today, does have a sacrifice fly to his credit, but here's Gogolski. Gogolski 1 for 2, hit by pitch, strikeout and a walk, or rather strikeout and a single. Spencer, being the relief man that he is, has not appeared in a game for over an inning. Threw 30 pitches versus Cherry Hill West, which is where he gave up 3 of his 5 total runs. He only has 1 earned run. The only difference is he's only pitched 3 innings. 1 versus Overbrook, 2/3 versus Cinnaminson, 2/3 versus Cherry Hill West, and 2/3 versus Gloucester on Thursday. Here comes the throw down to second base, not in time. Stolen bag for Schwartz. And with nobody out, we'll have a quick meeting here between the catcher, Kamolda, and the pitcher, Spencer. Spencer's had some good defensive plays today in center field. Has caught a handful of line drives. But Spencer now digging in versus the left-hander, Gogolski. Again, the commit to Rutgers Camden. Inside, Gogolski almost got brushed up again for his second time today. Stepping off. That one's a ground ball in the right field. That's a base hit. Runner does get the third. And a base hit for Gogolski. That's his second of the game. Bringing up Evan Miller, the first baseman. So now you got runners on the corners, and this is what I was afraid of with Haddon Township. Again, you know, Jantorno is one of those guys that has really held down the fort this year, and Spencer's a good pitcher as well. But, you know, when you're talking about what Haddon Township has been this year, 4-9 record, with all 4 of their wins coming in divisional play, 2 against Gloucester, and 1 each against Paulsboro and Gateway. You don't want games like this to slip away, because this might be the biggest game that they have in their division this year. The first game was one thing. They were at Sterling. Sterling obviously poured on the offense early, scoring 9 runs in 2 innings en route to a 13-6 win. But today, honestly, seems a little bit different. I mean, Haddon Township's got that fire, but Sterling has been putting it out at any chance that they've gotten. It's 6-2, chance to extend the lead here with Miller. Cracks that one foul, put 110% into that swing. Count is 1-1 here. And another little mound visit there, making sure everybody's on the same page. Wind really seems to have shifted. It's now just blowing straight in. Miller cracks that one out to right field. That'll get a run across. Jantorno picks it up on 2 hops. Has a fire to the plate. And it's not in time. That'll be an RBI single for Miller. And in fact, looks like 2 runs are going to come around that time. Make that 8-2. As Miller picks up his 3rd RBI of the game. So scoring is Schwartz. Gugolski was on the run, ended up getting in there. A 2-run single. Makes it 8-2. Whew. That's 2. I think I sneeze a 3rd time and I get thrown out of the game. Still nobody out. A walk. Base hit by Gugolski, and now a 2-run single by Miller. They do have a runner substituting at first. As that one is put in play. Out to the pitcher's mound. He bobbles it. Now it's to underhand shove. It's in time. A perfect shovel there. Gets it done. Runner does advance to second. The new runner for Sterling is number 6, Ryan Romano. So Miller who was pinch run for again by Ryan Romano, now advances to second base. Lomax grounded out into a 1-3 fielder's choice. It's not really a fielder's choice because it's just standard play. Didn't attempt to get the runner at second. That one is a check swing. I'm surprised they didn't try to appeal it. Honestly, the first base coach was upset with it. I wouldn't be surprised if they called that a strike. We'll have to zoom into the home plate umpire, see what he has to say. Unless they put the ball in play here. There's a strike there. So Sterling settling in here. 2 out, no, 1 out, excuse me. And Spencer delivering. He got him, so that was the 3rd strike. That's what I thought, because the first base coach kind of had his hands up, kind of as to say, you know, what was that call? So he wouldn't have done that for a ball. Let's just say that. Rosano strikes out. 2nd out now for McCormick. Gavin McCormick, who is 1 for 3, had a single in the 1st inning, but was thrown out at second. That prematurely and abruptly ended Sterling's 1st inning outburst. That one did catch the zone on the curveball, 0-1. Hit out towards right field. This one's going to drop in front of the center fielder, Machini. And Sterling is going to pick up 3 insurance runs here in the 7th inning. They now lead this thing 9-2. As a game that already looked like Sterling was theirs to lose, they now pick up 3 insurance runs, a 2-run single by Evan Miller, and now another insurance run by Gavin McCormick. If you're Vaughn McVeigh, you got to be very happy about this. I mean, you know, the offense did their job. Multiple batters had multiple RBIs. Gogolski had 2 hits, 3 RBI for Miller, 2 RBI for Lomax, and 2 RBI for McCormick. Everybody just kind of did their job. And only one batter for Sterling hasn't gotten on base at all, and that is, well, the catcher, Lucier, who's batting now. And again, he's a freshman. But if you're Vaughn McVeigh, you kind of give him a free pass because guess what? I mean, he has caught for him all day and has been quite good. The big thing for me today is that there hasn't been really any wild pitches, passed balls, or just stupid plays. It's a harsh word, but trust me, a lot of times, not naming names, but I see stupid plays a lot of times. You know, outfielders not doing their job. Infielders that aren't shading where they're supposed to be. There's a strike called. Or pitchers and catchers just not communicating. Like we said, a lot of the times, a relationship between a pitcher and a catcher is a lot like between an offensive line and a quarterback. One asset protects the other. Usually, a lot of the times, the catcher protects the pitcher. Ground ball. Skips in the left for a base hit. Stopping at second is McCormick. And there goes your hitless streak because Tyler Lucier picks up a base hit. And that now means that all 9 batters for Sterling this afternoon have reached base in one capacity or another. As 4 hits, all singles, in the 7th inning. And again, 3 runs already across, thanks to the 2-run single by Miller. We're going to have, not sure what the umpire was stopping for, but we'll see what they've got in the tank. First pitch, that one's in the dirt, both runners hold. But like we said, even in that situation, a good hold there behind the plate, kept everything at bay. Connor Warrington is the batter, second baseman. Warrington pops it up and out of play. Sterling 9, Haddon Township 2. Again, 4 runs came across in the first. They've now added on 3 here in the top of the 7th. And that is up and away. And this is where a game like this tends to come to a screeching halt. We're a game that was very, very well moving. Strike called there. Now ends up kind of falling back on itself. You know, we're at, actually right now only at 1 hour and 50 minutes, 51 to be specific. Just considering we had Sayreville and Matawan at Trenton Thunder that went 3 hours and 4 minutes, our longest of the year. Poked out by the 9-hitter, diving as Sheehan can't get there in the left. Green light at third. They will throw it to the plate. The throw bounces up and away and make that a 4-run 7th for Sterling as an RBI single by Warrington. He now gets his 3rd hit of the game. 5 singles in the 7th. Scoring was McCormick, and it's 10-2. Up and away. Collins is the batter. He's the 9th man to bat for Sterling this inning. Even Sterling only brought 7 to the plate as a part of their 4-run first. Oh, look out. Collins gets dropped down. Looks like he got out of the way in time. And the pitch. That is low. Bases are loaded. I don't know who Delgado has in the tank here, because Schwartz is going to bat. And, I mean, to put it nicely, I mean, they don't have that many other guys that they can pitch. They've played a busy schedule. Played a game on Thursday, Friday, then came back on Monday, beat Gloucester 12-2, but they already burned DeCastro, and he went 5 1/3. So I don't know who else you would put out there. I mean, Jantorno's day is done. We'll have to see what Spencer is able to get here as he misses away 1-0. You don't want this game to unravel. It's a 10-2 game. Sterling's already scored 4 runs. This is the kind of thing that happens in Group 1 baseball sometimes. Sometimes it just ends up being that after the starting pitcher gets taken out, the bullpen just isn't ready. I see it at so many Group 1 programs that the game, as soon as the bullpen gets involved, just turns into a bore. It happens. It's not exactly what you want, but it's a natural part of the game. And when you talk about teams that are contenders versus pretenders, that one's going to be another one that skips away. You know, you're talking about here, you're risking a bases-loaded walk because he's got a 3-0 count. He just can't find the strike zone. Sterling has already scored 4. They would have Gogolski next, but they've already batted around. The damage has already been done. We'll see what Haddon Township can do to rebound here, but the 3-0 is going to miss well outside. Bases loaded walk scores the run, and it's 11-2. This game was pretty good right up about until a couple of minutes ago. Schwartz walked for the second time. Delgado will come out, see if Spencer's day is done or if they're going to have somebody else take over. They're going to call for the left fielder. He actually looked surprised that they were bringing them in. They were like, oh, me? Sean Crawford's going to be the new pitcher here in the top of the 7th. Sterling has scored 5 as a huge insurance buffer comes apart here in the 7th. And Spencer will be done after 2/3 of an inning. We'll be right back. It is Sterling 11, Haddon Township 2. new pitcher is Eamon Sheehan. He comes in here in the top of the 7th as a part of a five-run seventh inning by Sterling. They wanted the insurance, and they've got the insurance, as this one is popped up on the first pitch with 2 away. There you go. 1 pitch is all you needed, and the inning is over. Sterling leaves the bases loaded, but Cam Spencer mostly was the one who got Sterling with that lead. They score 5 and bat 11 as we go to the bottom of the 7th, as it'll be a 9-run lead for the Silver Knights, 11-2. Well, our questions have been answered. Indeed, Vaughn McVeigh coming out for the bottom of the 7th inning. Big opportunity there, as this one is flied out towards right field on the first pitch, 1 away. Didn't waste any time there as Spencer's retired. Now it'll be Kamulda to be followed by Sheehan. I mean, McVeigh has done very good work here today. Looking for the complete game. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. As this one is popped up foul. This would be McVeigh's first complete game of the season. He's through 6 1/3 versus Collingswood and versus Cardinal O'Hara. That one is also foul, 0-2. 5 innings versus Gateway. Only threw 1 in a 7-4 loss to Eastern. Went scoreless, though. 12 total runs, 7 earned. That total goes up to 14 total, 8 earned after today's game, assuming that Haddon Township does not score. That ball's hit out to short. Schwartz, oh, he bobbled it. Just dropped it. Looked like it was a little bit of an awkward transition. But Kamulda does reach for Sheehan. And Kamulda, even in what could be a losing effort for Haddon Township today, has 3 singles, so kudos to him. But as we said for McVeigh, he threw 6 1/3 versus Collingswood through 106 pitches on April 16th, and then 5 days later threw another 96. Grand total of 202 in 5 days. That one goes foul down the third base line. Now 0-2. 5 innings versus Gateway on April 8th, 68. But as we said more recently, April 26th through 23. So he has been working relatively lax in the last couple of days. As the 0-2 to Sheehan. Floated out towards left field. This looks like it's going to be in play. It will be off the chain link fence and foul. Don't forget to stay tuned for the DWB postgame show and interview presented by the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, or Dog Pro Wrestling. South Jersey's premier wrestling organization, pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. You can visit dawgprowrestling.com for more information. Sheehan, left field. 2 down. Kamulda will go back to first. So that will bring up the number 3 hitter, Colin Feely. Could be the last chance. Got the second run across for Haddon Township, their second and last run of the day. As you're, no, not going to throw down to second. Honestly, I wouldn't even cover the bag. Defensive indifference. 9-run game, don't have to worry about the runner, but they decided to go for it anyway, and the runner steals. That's a ground ball, goes through McVeigh's legs. It'll go to Schwartz, and the throw to first is in time, and the ball game is over. Vaughn McVeigh, with 5 strikeouts, he tosses a complete game, 11-2 the final, as Sterling hangs on to their Colonial Patriot lead and has a commanding win with 5 runs in the 7th, in addition to 4 runs in the first, to plate 11. As every batter for Sterling and the Silver Knights under Tad Kozaneski got on base. And what do they always say? Good things happen when you put the ball in play. Final score today, 11-2, Sterling over Haddon Township. Time of game, 2 hours and 4 minutes. We'll be right back for the DWB postgame show presented by the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. our dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators player of the game, a.k.a. our dog of the game, Vaughn McVeigh, the senior right-hander. Just 4 strikeouts, but the complete game, your first of the year. This was a huge win for Sterling. Got the division lead back, and now you're 12-2 going into the Diamond Classic tomorrow. Vaughn, how'd you feel there today?
I mean, I felt amazing. You know, I have a team behind me, so I don't need many strikeouts. You know, they make the plays every day, and we got Heights tomorrow, so we're going to be coming for them.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about strikeouts all the time on this show, where we had a game last week where a pitcher threw out 13 batters and still lost the game. So you struck out 4 and you got the complete game, and this was your first of the year. Had 6 1/3 in 2 other starts, but this was the first one where you went the distance. Your defense did really back you up today. A couple double play up the middle in I believe it was the 4th inning, was a really good play out there at second base. And how does it feel to have a defense that has been backing you up all season and finding a way to get you out of innings?
It feels amazing to have people to rely on the whole season too. You know, we've had some injuries at shortstop. Jason's out, but we have guys that pick it up, and it's just like, it relieves me.
That's always good to hear. And for Sterling, this has been an incredible season for them, especially after going, I believe it was 9-16 last year. You guys are 12-2, looking for your first over 500 season since 2018. The Knights are red hot, and now they've got a Diamond Classic game tomorrow versus Haddon Heights. Tad was talking about it in the post-game circle. Haddon Heights is number 1 in Group 2. You guys are number 2. How do you feel going into that game tomorrow at the Rock?
I feel amazing. I mean, we beat them once. Obviously, it's hard to beat them. I mean, they're a good team. It's hard to beat them multiple times. But you know, I have strong confidence in my guys, so I'm not worried at one bit.
And for Sterling overall this year, this will be our last question, you know, it's just so interesting for them because there was a decent core of guys that graduated, but you guys got so much better this year. What do you think was the change? Was it just more practice? Was it developing guys? What made this team so good this year? Because you guys have just done everything right.
You know, I just think guys have picked it up this year. A lot of guys started caring more. They realize it's their last time. Most of these guys, it's their last time playing baseball, so a lot of them realize that, and they really stepped it up. And they're obviously filling the spots that we lost last year, including shout out to Gavin McCormick. He's definitely been picking it up in right field, and Gogo obviously too. But we have guys that didn't play, and now they're definitely stepping up, get more confident, reliable.
They're finding a way to make things impactful. Vaughn, thank you very much. We're going to do our DWB tradition. We're going to have you sign the bottom of the scorecard. Make it nice and big there on the bottom. As Vaughn McVeigh, your player of the game, 4 strikeouts and a complete game effort, giving up 2 runs, 1 earned, and only an 11-2 win. There's your signature there for Mr. McVeigh. Best of luck, I believe, at Immaculata, right?
Yep, yes, sir.
Best of luck to you, and best of luck tomorrow. That'll be all for us tonight here on DWB. Our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Caleb Lane and Carson Rosso, my producer, Vincent Vogt. I'm Dan Wilkins. They'll lower the tarp behind us, and we will lower the curtain on tonight's broadcast. Sterling 11, Haddon Township 2. Again, our next broadcast will be the DWB fan vote game in the first round at the Diamond Classic. Right now, it looks like Egg Harbor Township versus Audubon is the leader. However, you still have about 12 hours to vote. We'll have to see. But that'll be all for us tonight. We'll see you on Thursday, wherever we may be. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.